Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos back here again for another episode of taking care of my father and dealing with that. I'm not sure what I'm calling this exactly yet, but today is Friday the 6th and I've now helped put my father into emergency respite care. He wanted to go to town, to go to the hospital. He's got 5 days in there before his insurance cuts him off. I'm paying for that. It's going to cost him 50 to 100 bucks a day, I think they said, with his copay from insurance and that. And then from there, we're going to hopefully, by that time that 5 days is up, we're going to have him in assisted living. He wants to go into that. And then from there, he wants to go to nursing home and just kind of move his way through. He's given up on everything. He gave me a whole whopping, not quite 12 hours. He gave my brother a couple weeks to stay there and let them help him. My sister-in-law went in the hospital already and crap, wasn't around. Nobody was getting the assistance needed, that kind of stuff. Has been lying to me about his situations and stuff. He's not telling me the truth. He agreed to come down to the farm, talking to his parents and stuff, my grandparents and that. Agreed to come down there, give it a week or so, see if we can't, figure it out, see if I can't work it out, what he wants. Asked him, 50 times in that 12 hours, what else can I do for you? What else do you need? Nothing. I'm good. I'm fine. And then kind of find out when I get down there stuff. And the social worker's there, my grandparents are there and that. Acts like I never did shit for him. He's like, I tried to get you to help me and stuff, and I was just like, I had to bite my tongue. It was all I could do to say, really? Because I never once, when you said, hey, will you do this for me, was I not there to help you? So he would call and say, hey, I want to move the chair. I literally was downstairs building a new step in that so he'd get in and out of the back of the house that he didn't do in the last 20 years or so. He never bothered building. I was building that and basically dropped what I was doing, ran upstairs, moved his chair, anything out of the way, never said a word. Totally told him it's 100% fine, which it was 100% fine. Went back downstairs, finished up the project. So I don't know exactly what the hell he wanted out of me. All I had to do is ask. He won't ask. He basically keeps saying he doesn't want a burden on everybody. He wants to sign over the farm to the state. He wants to become Title 19. He's got enough money that he can't do that right now. He's got to spend through his retirement funds and all that kind of stuff. We have to sell the farm. The state don't just take your farm anymore. They don't want to sell it. They want you to sell it and then spend the money on nursing care and all that junk and go from there. So don't really know what else is going on. Like I said, he's in respite care for the next 5 days. That's the most he can be there, hopefully less than that. We're going to get him. I toured one of the assisted living facilities. Seems like a nice place. It's expensive. We're looking well over $3,000 a month for that place, but he's got the money for that. And once that money runs out, he'll have to go into actual nursing home, which is weird. The way that I understand, Title 19 does not pay for assisted living, even though it's cheaper than nursing home, but I don't understand the whole process there too much. But my brother seems to think that he's going to have enough money to outlive. He'll die before his money runs out from his retirement funds and all that stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. My brother seems to think he wants the farm. The farm's in horrible condition. It needs tons of projects, which is one of the reasons why my father wanted to come to town, as he said later after he got in town, was in the hospital right now where he's at, and then in assisted living he won't have to see all the failed projects of all the crap that he screwed up in his life and never finished. He started many projects down at the farm, never finished virtually any of them. Everything got put aside and alcohol became more important than that every single time. So I also found out today that basically he said he'd had a few beers in his life to the hospice who are taking care of his pain pills. My brother and Heather backed that information, I guess, supposedly. He's had a few beers in his life. And by a few beers, we mean he's been a drunk virtually last 45 years or so. So definitely, I explained it to him. They said that explains a lot more of why his pain meds aren't been working right, because after that many years of chronic alcoholism, you tend to lose different nerve receptacles for the pain narcotic type stuff, that kind of thing. And they're going to have to let the doctors and stuff know and hospice know that, so they can up his dosage and try and get him in better control of his pain. I don't know. He's got a hell of a lot of quit in him. He's always had a hell of a lot of quit in him his whole life. So gives up on a lot of things way too damn easily. And I had a real realization, a lot of freaked out in my mind about the fact that that's the man I came from his loins, and I got those damn genes in me too, and it drives me nuts. He's just a giant wuss. Doesn't say what he wants, doesn't say what he needs, won't ask for the help from us, but he's willing to ask for help for a total stranger. Doesn't make any damn sense. He'd made the remark how he didn't want to end up being a burden on the family where it ends up where nobody loves him kind of thing. And I said, well, shit, let us try and help you. Let us work through this crap. And he didn't want to do it. So I'm up in the air. I've said I was going to do a bunch of stuff, and I thought I was going to be down there with him. I had a bunch of projects at the house. I was going to kind of keep myself busy during the day when he's in there just watching TV, hang out with him some, and then go back out and do some projects and that. And he just, I don't know. I've got no use at all doing it now. So we're going to sell it to the, to the first person that gives us any damn money. My grandfather wants to sell it to the guy he sold his farm to. I think the guy's a rip-off artist. He offered my grandfather way too little of the farm, and then bragged about how great a deal he got and how he basically, underbid it and got the damn place and all that kind of good stuff. So I want to see at least go to public auction, pay the real estate agent or the auction house for the money, and let them basically handle that part of it and go from there. Other than that, I don't really give a shit. My father's told me numerous times that everything goes to my brother. Then my grandfather claims that he's splitting the estate, if there's anything left, 4 ways. I don't have a clue. I don't give a shit. My brother owes tons and tons of money on his wife's medical bills and all that kind of stuff, and if he inherits the farm, he'll either not pay the taxes and lose it that way, or they'll confiscate it and kick her off disability because she'll have a net worth income of money. So they're not looking at that crap. They're not paying attention to it. The house is, it's horrible condition. It's going to need tons of work. But compared to my brother's house, it's nicer than my brother's house. My brother's house is even worse than that, which is hard to say. I can't see them wanting to live on a rock road. Can't see them wanting to waste the extra gas, all that kind of crap. My dad bought my brother's house in town here. My dad's paying the taxes on it. And it was like driving me nuts. I wanted to buy a raised toilet for my father because he's sitting on those stupid plastic risers that you can fall off of. Every time you shit them, you got to clean them. It's a big pain in the ass. And I'm like, let's just go to Menards, just go pick up a $200 toilet, a raised handicap toilet, throw it in the house, no big deal, it's $200. Who gives a crap? Who gives a damn about $200? In the process, it keeps in the house longer, makes him feel worse. One of the complaints he has, he couldn't get back up off the toilet because the toilet was too short. So it's one of those deals, obviously, that would have helped keep him in his house longer. They, didn't want to do that, but yet my grandparents were against that 100%, didn't want to do that for him. But they had absolutely no problem at all pulling the money out of my father's credit union account, his savings account, to go pay the taxes on my brother's house. Now, my brother, who isn't down at the farm helping him out, hasn't offered that at all that kind of junk, has been mooching off him for years, and now we're in a situation where, we'll go pay his house taxes on the house that, my father paid for, the down payment, all that kind of crap in the house, where the taxes are way more than what a toilet would have cost. But yet, why my brother isn't paying those, I don't know. Makes no damn sense. He's been, milking off dad for years, all that kind of crap, and why should it be any different now? So I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just frustrated as hell, mad as shit. Really glad I don't drink. Because if I was a drinking man right now, I would be so damn drunk I wouldn't be able to stand up. So I keep telling myself I need to realize the fact that these people are never going to change. They are who they are. But I got into it with my grandfather over the farm. He wants me to let one guy make an offer and just accept that guy's offer. And I think that's bullshit. I should be able to, I'm going to talk to a real estate agent or at least an appraiser, and he's all freaking out. Well, appraiser's going to want money. Well, if this guy's going to offer me, let's say $40,000 for a farm, and I can pay some other guy, even if I pay an independent appraiser, let's say the guy is a crazy number and he wants $500 to come down for the day and look at it and give me an appraisal. I'm going to guess it's more like $100 to give me an appraisal on the farm, and he says it's worth $100,000. It's worth it. Even if he says it's worth 40, and we take the guy's offer that offers us 40 for it, it's worth the $100 or $500 to me to know that information, to get also another look, because I don't think they allowed anybody else to make a bid on their farm. This guy made one offer. They accepted his first offer. No counter, no nothing. They didn't allow anybody to make the offer. I know of 3 other people who were interested in my grandfather's farm over the years. And I told him about them over the years because I knew he talked about selling and moving to town. Did not listen to any of them. Wouldn't even talk to anybody about the offers. Took this guy's first bid. And I was happy as shit because he bought the land for like $15 an acre 65 years ago, and he sold it for $500 an acre or some crap. At the time, he sold it for, I don't remember exact numbers, $500 was probably wrong, where the hell it was, but I know he sold it for about half of what the farmland around the area was going for, and he didn't even include $1 extra for the house. So, which I understand in large farms and stuff, you can't include much, but when you're selling it for a third of the cost of land, figure in the house price too. That's a bunch of bullshit. So, that's where we're at right now, and I don't know why he loves that guy so much. My grandfather's all up in it, and he started kind of getting all heated that I need to at least listen to his offer, and I need to just make up a number that I think it's worth, and if he matches that number, I need to sell it to him or make him that quote. And I'm like, how do I come up with a number for land? I have no idea, because for the last month, I've been talking to my last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, I've been talking to my grandfather 3 separate times about what that farm's worth, and he wouldn't come up with a number. He wouldn't guess. He wouldn't tell me diddly squat. So I have no clue. It's just, all this stuff's getting dumped on my head. I was warned by my mother that it was going to get worse. It was going to get all this crap. I just never thought he was going to give up. 12 hours after he told me he'd give me a week, I thought I had time to help get him where he wanted to go. So, and then he basically, I don't know, I'm sick of the crap. I'm literally minutes away. Hopefully a good night's sleep and a heavy long run tomorrow. Clear my mind. I'll be ready to go and start on this crap again. But right now, I could really just change my phone number and pretend those people don't exist at all in my life. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. I'll hopefully be having some much better news tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. And regardless of how much you can't stand the people, they're still your family, and unfortunately, you still have to try and do everything you can for them, even when they don't want your help. So, good luck.